Men.
Cloudy periods with patchy rain developing tonight. Tonight's low 18, currently 26. This is Newstalk ZB Auckland at 2.
Mike Hosking at breakfast.
And breaking news 24/7. This is Newstalk ZB News.
Keep up with Newstalk ZB News. One dead from a massive new Christchurch earthquake. The cathedral suffers serious damage and civil defence on alert in wake of Quake. Good afternoon, I'm Neva Reddy-Manu. At least one person's dead and others are trapped after today's big quake in Christchurch. The Christchurch Cathedral has been badly damaged, roads are cracked and broken, power and phones are out in many areas. Parents throughout the city are rushing to pick up their children. Loretta Dean was in the CBD when the quake struck. She says the modern multi-storey Pine Gold building is a mess and she could hear cries for help coming from inside.
Like it's bent over at right angles to the top. Several floors are completely sort of destroyed and it's shrunken right down and then bent over. There were people, you can hear people shouting for help. There was a lot of people there trying to help get them out, but it's a mess.
And the quake was measured at 6.3 on the Richter scale, but was just 5 kilometres deep. Seismologist Craig Miller says there's no good news for Canterbury residents wondering when the shaking will end.
Unfortunately, an event like this will tend to develop more aftershocks after it, I suspect. So I think we've still got a little way to go yet.
And parts of the Christchurch Cathedral have fallen down after the latest quake. Our reporter Scarlett Swetanovic says there's dust covering everything in the central city.
Buildings have literally just collapsed. People have all gathered in a park in the middle of the square. The cathedral has apparently, parts of it have fallen down. Some of our colleagues were sitting outside the cathedral when it happened and the spire has fallen down. A whole wall of the cathedral has fallen. It's absolutely chaos.
And Telecom confirms phone services are down in Christchurch. Telecom says it's working to restore services as soon as possible and its thoughts are with the people of Canterbury. Meanwhile, Newstalk ZB's Brian Ashby says the noise was unreal.
Boom! It just hit. You heard the rumble, and this time normally it's a slow arrival, but it was boom! There it was, right there. And it was insane. I dived under my dining table. I had stuff falling off the wall. And
phones, traffic lights and power is out in some areas. We cross live now to Parliament where Prime Minister John Key is addressing.
Christchurch and surrounding areas. Reports are coming in of damage in the city and we're in very early stages of responding to the earthquake. At this stage we have sketchy details and suggest significant damage to buildings and infrastructure has taken place. It may be some time until the situation on the ground becomes clearer, but what we do know is that the people of Canterbury are once again going through a traumatic and frightening experience. My thoughts, and I'm sure the thoughts of this House, are with the people of Canterbury. The government stands alongside you now and for however long it takes to repair and rebuild your region. The government will keep New Zealanders informed as information becomes available. I've called an emergency cabinet meeting for 3 o'clock this afternoon. Straight after that, it's my intention to fly to Christchurch, conditions permitting. I want to get down there for a first-hand look and I'll return quickly to Wellington to work with ministers to ensure that everything that needs to be done is done urgently. The Civil Defence bunker is in the Beehive has been activated and the Minister of Civil Defence and officials are meeting. Mr Speaker, the details that we have are extremely sketchy. The communication with Christchurch Civil Defence is extremely limited. There has been some communication via satellite, but at this stage details are extremely sketchy. But the worrying fear, of course, is that this earthquake has taken place at a time where Cantabrians were going about their business. It's a very populated time with people at work, children at school. Sadly, I cannot rule out whether there have been fatalities or not, but we are aware of significant damage to buildings that had people in them at the time. We're also advising Cantabrians to exit the central city where large buildings are more prevalent. We will be doing whatever we can to assist those that have been evacuated from the hospitals, and obviously where possible we're asking people to make contact with their loved ones via text or whatever is available to them to check on their welfare. This afternoon at 3 o'clock, by then we'll have more information hopefully from officials by portfolio, but of course all of the provisions that rest with an emergency clarification in this area will come into play, and the government will be there to provide whatever assistance is possible. Can I just pass my thoughts to the Canterbury-based members of Parliament, who I'm sure are all very worried about their own families, and give them the assurance we'll do whatever we can to give them information as soon as we have it to hand.
And that's Prime Minister John Key speaking at Parliament after the Christchurch earthquake, the latest quake that hit at 10 to 1 this afternoon. And that's News to the Minute from the Newstalk ZB News Centre with AIA Insurance, proud sponsors of Crackerjack Kids. It's 2:05.
What's happening with their family. So if you're around various parts of Christchurch, please let us know.
This is Newstalk ZB Breaking News.
The Canterbury aftershock. He's also arranged an emergency cabinet meeting for 3 p.m. and will afterwards fly to Christchurch. The PM says reports are there's significant damage in the central city and residents are being asked to leave the area. Mr Key says the government will stand by the region till it's fixed. Prime Minister John Key says that the Civil Defence bunker at the Beehive has been activated after the Canterbury aftershock. Meanwhile, Mayor Bob Parker says Cantabrians need to keep off the roads. He says there's been casualties in central city, so roads need to be free.
Clearly, I think we have to steel ourselves at the fact that we've got some very seriously injured people on the reports that I've got so far. So once again, please, everybody, just check on your neighbours. That's such an important thing to do. If there are older people in your area, this is a very serious aftershock.
The Catholic Cathedral in Christchurch has been badly damaged in today's quake. Andrew is in the central city on the corner of Barbados and Morehouse Avenues. He says the damage from the quake is a lot worse than the 1st September quake.
Businesses all around the area have closed. Schools are being evacuated. It's basically mass evacuation. Traffic's gridlocked. The power's out. The cathedral have just been past Barbados Street. Half of that has collapsed.
And Radio Network Operations Manager Tim Dyer says people started scattering out of the buildings when the quake struck.
There are buildings that they had some concerns over with containers, etc., around them. Those buildings have now fallen. There's bricks and debris all over the road. There's people in tears. There's people just still driving through town now. There's people being attended to on the side of the road, a lot of elderly people outside restaurants, etc. They've managed to grab some chairs. There's major liquefaction happening right within the 4 avenues of Christchurch. There's flooding.
Christchurch Airport has suffered superficial damage in the latest quake. The airport has been evacuated and the terminals are closed. Chief Executive Jim Bolt says the airport will be closed until checks of the runway are done. He says he's not aware of any major damage.
We are aware of a lot of cosmetic damage around the terminals. We're still checking, obviously, very early days yet. The sprinkler system went off in one part of the terminal, so obviously a lot of water damage.
We'll have more on the Christchurch aftershocks as it breaks.
Another news. It is 2:35. Hello, Sophie.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, more to the point. How are you?
Oh, pretty stressed out, to be honest.
Whereabouts are you?
I'm just at the Caltex on Blenheim Road at the moment in Riccarton.
Yep.
Yep, I was at work on Riccarton Road at the time. Our shop's almost completely destroyed. I think it's probably going to be condemned this time around.
So whereabouts was your shop? Are you part of near Riccarton Mall or further down towards the city?
Just across from Riccarton Mall.
Okay.
And there was there's a concrete wall next door that was attached to the building next door, and it's actually cracked in half and it's leaning quite severely towards our building. Of course, I was on the side of the building that wall would have fell on if it had chosen to.
You're feeling very lucky, Sophie.
Oh, yes I am. Yes I am. And I'm just very glad that I managed to get all the customers out and everybody was okay. Building not so much, but all the people was the important part.
The mall itself?
Everybody was out straight away. I know they have to do some pretty serious structural checks before they're even allowed anybody in there. So I think the worst thing is everybody's cars are all stuck in the upper car parks at the moment. So traffic's just absolutely terrible. We've just spent 40 minutes on Matapo Street, going about 400 metres. So it's not a good place, part of town to be in.
I know Matapo Street well. I flattered there when I was a student.
Yes. So don't go down there is the point to that one.
Well, what the police are saying is they just want everybody to just sort of literally make their way out of the central city and head home. Where's home for you, Sophie?
Hornby.
Okay, well, we haven't heard from anybody in Hornby yet, but a lot of wooden houses and low structures, so hopefully everything's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, our house survived pretty well the first time around, so we're just hoping that our stuff's still okay, obviously.
Okay, well, we wish you well. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the best. Hello, Lauren.
Hi.
Where are you?
I am on Brogan Street, just out of the city as well, but I was actually at CPIT in Madras Street when the when the aftershock hit.
Yes.
And I was on the 4th story, so it was really horrible. Absolutely terrifying, yeah.
Tell us what it was like and what did everybody do at that time?
Well, at CPIT, we were up on the 4th story in one of the blocks, and it was probably the highest block as well. So the teacher just sort of yelled at everyone to either get up against the wall or get under the desk. So we all did that, and then she said the evacuation procedure was just to slowly walk down the stairs. So the whole school evacuated, and the teachers were then advising students that they needed to get away from the brick buildings. But, I mean, the whole area that we were in was really bad. Like, you know, the Madras Street and Chelm Street where they intersect, Poplar Lane, also I saw those buildings were all, honestly, they looked levelled, some of them, and there's quite a few knocked down buildings, and then I saw some school kids, so I dropped them off at home as well, but I'm just trying to get to Riccarton now.
Well done. Yeah. Okay, there. Look, on our Weather Watch Centre, there is a video of a rock fall in Sumner. Let's have a listen to this.
Live earthquake. You can see the floors trembling and the rocks are falling down in Sumner, just outside Christchurch. This giant rock's just fallen on the RSA building, and you can see it's crushed the building there, and the cars. It's terrifying.
It is very terrifying. Now, in Christchurch, there is a need to contact family and friends. We've just heard a word of advice. Please don't send photographs, videos or pictures by way of your cell phone. It is clogging it up. It is making it difficult for communications. And remember, Civil Defence out of Wellington is going to need all communications it can get to people around Christchurch. Now, we are coming to you on 91.3 FM. As you let your neighbours know and you check on your neighbours, you can tell them to tune their radio to 91.3 FM, 97.7 FM, 106.5 FM. And now when you check your neighbours, if you find that anyone is injured, if there are minor fires, make sure you take care of them. But if anyone is injured, if it's minor, take care of it then and there. If it is more serious, in Latimer Square, there is a temporary medical centre, the same in Sydenham, at the Spitlights Mall and Sanitarium in Papanui Road. Hello, Bob.